Moving somewhere new is part financial, part lifestyle, and part gut instinct. And for whatever reason, Northwest Arkansas is on your radar. My friend, I'm so glad you found this video as well as this channel, because I have the honor of consulting with people just like you on a weekly basis, helping them decide if Northwest Arkansas is or is not for them. Would you believe there's been many times I've helped people come here and check out Northwest Arkansas and decide this isn't for them. It happens.
It's true.
As a real estate broker, of course I'm going to benefit should you choose me as your real estate broker and decide to move here, but that's really self-seeking if I'm not helping you decide what's best for you. That said, let's cover some real pros and cons before you commit to next steps. If this is your first time to the channel, you need to know that I'm a pretty positive guy and I like to end things on a positive note. So we're going to start with the cons and then we'll finish with the pros. As many of my other pros and cons videos, some people see some of the cons as pros and some of the pros as cons. And one of those cons being the rapid growth. Many of the people that live here already are saying, stop, we don't have enough infrastructure in place to be able to take on more people moving to our area. With that rapid growth, our traffic's increasing. There's construction everywhere. Housing inventory is tightening up in some areas. And of course, infrastructure doesn't happen overnight. If you're already behind, infrastructure can take time to catch up, and it never seems to move quickly enough. Let's just put it this way. Growth is a blessing, but it can sometimes be messy. Next on our list is big city amenities. Northwest Arkansas is a rapidly growing area, but that doesn't mean that there is everything here that you might find in a Dallas, Denver, San Francisco, or some of the big cities in all over the United States, with roller coasters and a wide variety of restaurants that you experience across the country. Of course, our local airport, XNA, is growing and has multiple nonstop destinations, but we don't have too many destinations. Once you start going farther west of Denver, there's not too many direct flight locations. Of course, there's fewer luxury options. Many of my clients end up shopping up in Kansas City or going down to Dallas for more options when it comes to shopping for furniture or decorations. Also, in regards to big city amenities, we don't have that big city nightlife. Most of Northwest Arkansas is pretty sleepy after about 9 or 10 o'clock at night. Sure, there's certain areas, especially down by the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville, where the nightlife might be a little bit more favorable. But if you want Manhattan-type energy, this isn't the place. Next con on our list is the weather conditions. You need to know if you're looking to move here. In the spring and summer months, we do have tornadoes, hail, thunderstorms. It's hot and sticky in June, July, and August. And of course, in the winter months, don't think just because you're moving further south that you won't experience some snow. On average, here in Northwest Arkansas, we see around 9 inches of snowfall each and every year. At the shooting of this video in February, we've already received over our average 9 inches of snow, but years past, we've had 0 snow. Of course, what comes along with weather conditions are tornadoes. Unfortunately, Arkansas averages 39 tornadoes a year as a state. Here in Northwest Arkansas, as of the last couple of years, we have had some devastating tornadoes in Bentonville, Rogers. What else comes along with weather is allergies. Along with weather conditions each year, the change in season brings a change in what you might experience with a sniffly nose or maybe itchy eyes with seasonal allergies. Next on our cons list is the lack of public transportation. We're very much a car-dependent region. Unless you're living downtown and working downtown in a city like Bentonville, Rogers, or even Fayetteville, as an example, you have to have your own individual transportation. You might be able to get by with an e-bike, walking, rolling, or strolling to your employer or to your places of entertainment. With urban planning evolving, that's down the road and in the future. As of right now, we're very car-dependent type of region. Last but not least on our cons list is perception versus reality. Some common relocation surprises that I hear from people is Arkansas is a much slower pace of life than whatever they experienced from wherever they moved from. Here in Northwest Arkansas, there's very much a relationship-driven culture. Some would say that's a bit of a cliquey type of atmosphere where it might take you a little while to network. It might take you a little while to gain friends because maybe people that are here have already clung to their group of people, or maybe they've clung to their group of coworkers, and it takes a little while for you to break into that. Let's go ahead and finish up the videos with some pros, but before we do, my friend, if you're wanting to take the next steps and wanting to move to Northwest Arkansas, down in the comments is a link to my relocation guide. Consider that our first steps of potentially working together, helping you see if Northwest Arkansas is for you or not. The first pro on our list is a strong economy and job market, with major employers like Walmart, Tyson, and J.B. Hunt Transportation all headquartered here in Northwest Arkansas. Ancillary businesses and companies that are associated with those businesses, our local economy is very strong when it comes to jobs. One might say there is a single point of failure when it comes to Walmart. Well, don't forget, my friend, that when the economy doesn't do well, people stop shopping at places like Whole Foods and they start shopping at places like Aldi and Walmart. Our healthcare industry is growing, with Alice Walton doing amazing things on the northeast side of Bentonville. Our area is a magnet for remote workers, as the cost of living, respectively, is still on the lower side compared to many major cities across the U.S., and there's a strong entrepreneurial environment that is here. Many people here are choosing the lifestyle, and they have the ability to work here, versus chasing a job. Next on our pros cons list is cost of living versus lifestyle value. Many people are choosing Northwest Arkansas and realizing it's not as cheap as I think it would be, considering that Arkansas as a whole is one of the most cost-effective states to live in the entire country. Northwest Arkansas, and specifically Bentonville, are very expensive, but you don't have to live in Bentonville to enjoy what Bentonville, Rogers, Springdale, Fayetteville, many of the other cities around have to offer. You can live on the outskirts of town, and a rule of thumb, the farther you get away from Highway 49, the more cost-effective your cost of living might be. Cost of living is certainly relative to wherever you are now to wherever you might be here in Northwest Arkansas. We have lower taxes than coastal states. Our luxury homes are still affordable compared to nationally. We have lower insurance and utilities than many regions. And new construction homes are abundant. You can go find them in just about any city in Northwest Arkansas. The good news is you can still buy lifestyle here. Trails, lakes, space, and not just buying square footage. Have you noticed these all kind of lead into one another? The next pro on our list is outdoor living and lifestyle. In the Northwest Arkansas region, there are over 400 miles of mountain biking trails. You've got access to lakes, rivers like Beaver Lake and Tanier Creek. There's state parks, hiking, plenty of golf all around, and there's 4 seasons, but mild winters, so you can still enjoy many of those amenities year-round. As far as my family is concerned, one of our favorite places in all of Northwest Arkansas is Kohler Mountain Bike Preserve. I can go up there myself in about 7 minutes from my house and go riding mountain biking trails. My wife might go run there in the mornings, or my kids might go and rollerblade and go meet friends at Airship and go hang out in the summer or even winter months. And that leads into our number 4 pro of living in Northwest Arkansas is the quality of life. The topics that we have mentioned earlier as far as the outdoor lifestyle is wonderful, but the quality of life here in regards to schools is also top-notch. Now, granted, you might be coming from somewhere else that the education system is absolutely phenomenal. As a state, Arkansas is way down the list in regards to education and how we rank nationally. But as far as school districts in Arkansas, some of the absolute best schools are located here in Northwest Arkansas. Of course, as a real estate broker, I have to be careful talking about safety, but from many of my clients who are moving here from other major metropolitan areas or other areas of the country, they feel generally a lot safer here than they do wherever they moved from. Of course, check out crimegrade.org, plug in your city's zip code, and then compare it to a zip code here in Northwest Arkansas and decide for yourself, what do you feel is safe? Of course, there's community events and festivals like First Friday, any one of the running events that happen in Bentonville or Fayetteville or even Rogers. Almost every city, and especially the bigger cities in Northwest Arkansas, all have farmers markets. There's pumpkin patches, city-specific festivals, always something going on in Northwest Arkansas. Last but not least on our pros list is the growth and future investment opportunities. Like I said earlier in the video, many of the pros, some people might see them as cons, and many of the cons, some people might see them as pros. This is one that many locals see as a con, is the growth and development and excitement about future investment in Northwest Arkansas. It being a pro for people like yourself looking for an area that is growing and developing. There's billions in developing happening here in Northwest Arkansas with museums and culture, and art and festivals and events that are taking place, as well as buildings and the medical school expansion, infrastructure investment. There's a lot going on here in Northwest Arkansas. Now, we didn't go down into super deep detail on all those pros and cons and what it might mean specifically for you and your lifestyle, what it might look like for you here in Northwest Arkansas. But my friend, it's always a pleasure to put this information together for you. And now you know a little bit more about what life is like in and around Bentonville. Thanks for watching.